Okay, thank you. Okay, once again, we are really happy that today's session we have almost 160 registrations. So we will start on time. Because we won't wait for because we have very limited time. So once again, good evening all. I am Sujit Nair, and some of you already know me. I am the co-founder and the technical head of and director of Spectratix Pharma Limited. And what Spectratix does is Spectratix is I'll just give you a brief introduction. I won't go into details about this because we have very limited time. Spectratix is a very forward thinking pharmaceutical research and training organization, and which has been dedicated to product development, analytical work, and clinical research activities. We have started something called as Spectratix Academy, and through this we are trying to establish or serve as a connect between the academia and the industry as such. And it's our mission that the mission is quite simple actually. The mission is simple that we want quality professionals to enter the industry, and we are trying to do it with all the everything possible through our programs. And one such program that we have started is the Spectratix Knowledge Series, which is which we are trying to bring high value technical sessions designed in such a way that we want to upgrade the professionals, all the skills that you have, and also to widen the professional network. That's the main aim, because we feel that networking is very important in our field. Under this program, today we have a very eminent personality. Most of you know him. He is Mr. Mahesh Deshmukh, and he is currently the senior manager with Emcure Pharmaceutical, Maharashtra. And the topic for today's discussion is data integrity, closing the gaps to prevent audit failures and strengthen compliance across pharma operations. So I hope this session will be very useful to each one of you, and we have taken note of whatever suggestions you have made in terms of the future programs. So we will be coming up with different programs. I'll give you a list or the session after this session has been presented by sir. I'll brief you regarding the upcoming session. And talking about Mr. Mahesh Deshmukh, he is an experienced quality professional. He has more than 22 years of experience with different pharmaceutical companies, including Wockhardt Research. He has worked with Watson, Ranbaxy, Ajanta Pharma, Emcure Healthcare, and is currently working as senior manager with Emcure Pharmaceuticals. So I'll stop here with respect to the introduction part, and allow sir to take over. One second. So you can present once again. Yes, sir. Myself. So you can start, sir. Myself. So you're on mute. Please unmute.
Is the screen visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, dear friends, today we are going to learn something about the data integrity. This is the most hot topic, okay, in pharma industry, because due to the lack of data integrity, there are companies are getting more problems. Okay. So, what is data integrity? Let us see that. So, when pharmaceutical companies are marketing their drugs to the various countries, they have to follow regular rules and regulations and GMP of that country. Okay, so that they are giving permission to market the drugs in their country. Okay, so all that is based on the documents. So documents are the most important. Okay, so what is data integrity? Data integrity is the assurance of accuracy, consistency, completeness of data throughout its entire life cycle. Okay, so data integrity means what? Data should be accurate, data should be consistent, and data should be complete throughout the entire life cycle. Okay, life cycle of the data. Okay, why it is important? Because it ensures that data remains reliable and trustworthy for decision making, because all the decisions are only the document based. Okay, so data remains reliable and trustworthy for decision making and operations, protecting it from unintentional or unauthorized changes. So you have to maintain the data. It should not be okay. So there should not be any unauthorized, unintentional changes in that, or errors, or corruption. Corruption means changes without permission. Okay. So what is the data? Uh, in pharmaceutical field, what we are doing? We are creating the data, we are collecting the data, we are acquiring the data. Data acquiring means from the softwares. Okay, create, collect, and acquire. That is the first step. Second, what? We are processing and storing that data. Okay, then what? Then we are analyzing, reviewing, and reporting, and whatever its use that we are doing, its usage. Second, after use, we have to retain that data. Okay, we have to retain, we have to archive, and we have to retrieve. Retain means to store, archive means to store properly, okay, with protection, and retrieve means to get back. Okay, then after its life cycle is over, whatever may be the retention period of that document, okay, based on the guidances or based on the policies of the company, up to that period documents are retained. After that certain period, documents are getting destroyed. So destruction of documents also has a specific procedures, that why you destroyed the document, what documents were destroyed, who verified it. Okay, that is also important. So this is the life cycle: creating data, collecting data, storing data, analyzing data, using data, retaining, archiving, and retrieving the data, and last one is destroying the data. Now, data integrity data integrity is followed by certain principles. So every work what we are doing, suppose it should have some principles. So data integrity has one principle that is called as ALCOA principle. Okay, actually data integrity started in 1960s. Okay, but to prevent the most of the fraudulent data, okay, to bring the reliability in the documentation, so that this ALCOA was set in the 1990s by US FDA. Then certain characters were added by the EMA, okay, European agencies. Then now let us see what is meant by ALCOA. Okay, so ALCOA has principles and parameters like attributable, okay, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate. These were the first ALCOA principles in mid 90s. Then after that in 2000 to 2010, some parameters were added to give more value to the data integrity, that were the complete, consistent, enduring, available. Okay, then traceable was added in 2022. Okay, now let us see what is attributable. Okay, let us see one by one parameter. So get the clarity. So first one is the ALCOA, second one is the plus, and third figure is the plus plus. That means what was added during the plus, and only the traceable was added during the plus. But they have more. Now most of the people know that in plus plus last was the traceable. But if you see the writing and document of the regulatory bodies, they have added three more terms as transparent, integral, and critical thinking. Okay, the main word here is the traceable. Now, what is attributable? Attributable means data must be recorded by a specific identifiable person or system. Attributable, that means who has done the documentation, which instrument was used, or which equipment was used, okay, for the analytical work or any activities, that has to be shown. Okay, that is attributed. Legible means what? Data must be readable, understandable throughout its life cycle. Okay, so who is going to see that data is legible or attributable? There are the regulatory bodies who are inspecting the pharmaceutical firms. Okay, so they are checking the data. While checking and inspecting the firm, they are looking at the documents. So based on the documents, they are looking at the different data. So when they are looking at the data, they should be clear with these parameters. That means what they are going to check, that whether the data is attributable or not. Okay, then legible. Legible means it should be clear, it should be readable, understandable throughout its life cycle. Contemporaneous means what? Data, documents, activities should be documented in a timely manner. Okay, that means when the activity is done, at that time documentation should be performed. Original means what? Data must be documented on a original format, original paper, or a certified true copy. Okay, then accurate. Data must be true reflection of event without errors or undocumented changes. Data must be accurate. That means what? Suppose you have to do the calculation. That calculation should be correct as per the formula mentioned in the method or in a document or protocols. Okay, so that activity should be accurate. Otherwise, formula is written something, calculation is done by a different formula. Okay, so document should be accurate. Calculations. Calculation is just an example. Or inaccurate, whatever steps are followed, that are being accurate or not as per procedure that the person has followed, that is also checked in the accuracy. Complete. Now first 5 parameters were the ALCOA. Okay, now in plus these 4 parameters were added. They were complete, consistent, enduring, and available. Complete means what? Data, initially data was attributable, legible, online, documented. It was documented on the original formats. It was accurate, but this information found to be insufficient in some sense. So what? Regulators added few terms to bring more clarity in the documents. Okay, more clarity in the data, that data should be complete. All data, including any repeat analysis, reworks, must be recorded. Okay, only first time analysis done, result fail. Okay, then you have performed repeat analysis. Okay, then whatever analysis you have done, that has to be recorded. Any activity, okay, that must be recorded. Consistent. Now what? In consistence, that means what? Suppose you are doing it, recording the activities, any format, that format should be consistent. Okay, or any procedure, suppose you have to write something in a proper way, that all persons should write in that proper way only. Okay, there should be consistency in the documentation. Some person is writing something, other is writing something for the same procedure, that is not allowed. That brings the unclarity in the work done. Okay, data should be complete. Consistency means what? Data must be recorded in a logical, sequential, consistent manner with consistent timestamps. Okay, so the case of backdating, post dating, okay, that comes under the consistent term. Now enduring, you have your data is accurate, complete, it was original, it was also legible, sorry, it was also attributable, all parameters were met. But document should be stored in authorized stable formats for its entire life cycle. So it should be kept in a proper way. So it should be made available when it is asked. Okay, during the audits. Available means what? Data must be accessible. In data management, data life cycle, I told you that data is getting, after you said data is getting stored. Okay, then it should be retrievable. If document was saved, then it should be retrievable. Okay, that means it should be available. Okay, data must be accessible for review and auditing for as long as required. Okay, then this was about the ALCOA plus. First 5 parameters ALCOA, second 4 parameters were ALCOA plus. Now ALCOA plus means what? Second plus is the traceable. Traceable means what? The ability to track and review all data activities, including any revisions and their associated audit trails. Okay, so that is the traceability. So that's why we are using the various revisions. For example, SOP revision, okay, protocol revision, analytical data sheet. Suppose it is there, it's revisions. So any format should, matlab means what? Format should have revision numbers. So it will bring about the clarity that what was changed previously. Okay, the document should be traceable. Why data integrity is important in pharma? It is for the because documents reflect the quality of the product. If your document is not good, that is it is questionable that whether you have performed production or manufacturing and testing well or not, because document is the reflection of that all. Okay, if there are corrections, document is incomplete, document not correct, means that is there is question on the quality of the product. So document ensures patient safety and product quality. Okay, good documents means not good product quality. Now, why the data integrity is important? It is important to maintain the regulatory compliance. Okay, compliance means to obey the rules and regulations. So regulatory bodies such as MHRA, US FDA, other TGA, okay, Health Canada, they are inspecting the firms. Okay, they are just checking that whether procedure are getting followed or not, or whether the companies are complying as per CGMP or not. Only they have GMP, but they have implemented any current practices. They are in current scenario or not. They are checking that. Okay, so regulatory compliance is most important. Builds trust and credibility. Okay, if data is integrated, it builds the trust and credibility, because regulatory agencies will be sure that if data is good, that all thing is good. Maintaining data integrity builds trust between pharmaceutical companies and regulatory agencies, which is crucial for gaining approvals and maintaining a good reputation. If any company gets data integrity violations or warning letters, okay, they are notified on the regulatory agencies websites. So all people come to know that this company has so this much issues, okay, so much issues, or this is the issue in that company. So reputation becomes bad. Okay, if reputation becomes bad, then it affects the financial aspects, because marketing also get impacted due to that. Data integrity is also important to prevent the errors and fraud. Okay, it helps to prevent errors from human mistakes or system vulnerabilities, as well as intentional data fabrication or falsification, which can compromise product quality and safety. So data integrity is important because what is system? System means procedures. Okay, system is made up of procedures and persons and machines and all that. But who is handling all that? Human. So most of the data integrity means what? falsification, but system cannot do itself. It is human triggered. Okay, so prevent the human errors, because human has tendency to make the error. Okay, to show that he is reliable. So for his reliability, he is polluting the data. Okay, so that is against the policies of data integrity. Then ensure operational efficiency. Reliable data improves decision making. If data is good, then we can decide decisions are made quick and correct. If data is not reliable, then decision made will be wrong. It will impact again quality and output also. It reduces, data integrity reduces the risk of costly errors. If there is no data integrity, what will happen? FDA will give 483. You have to respond that 483 within 15 days. If not, justification is provided. If they don't like the responses to the 483s, they will give you warning letter. If still company does not improve after the warning letter, then they are asking to the companies where they have to continue the marketing of their products. If the company says yes, then they have to go to the court, USFDA court. Okay. Then what? There is consent decree. That means mutual agreement. Okay. Only one case in India, that Ranbaxy, that he made consent decree with USFDA. After that, what happened? Ranbaxy doesn't follow the consent decree also. So Ranbaxy got shut down. Now it is taken over by Sun Pharma. Okay. So cost means what? You have to respond the regulatory bodies. Okay. You have to bring the new machines, new equipment, new procedures, new manpower. Okay, consultants, that bring the cost. If your data is initially integrated, correct, okay, there is no need to all that spendings. Okay, so it should be the first time. Means what? First time should be the correct time. Then if it is product related, then product development cost, re-audits. Suppose you responded to the regulatory, they are again or re-inspection, again then expenditure for repeat audits. Okay, then your other customers. Okay, if the issue is with USFDA, other regulatory agencies which have given you approval. Okay, so you have to also respond to them that there is whether there is issue or not. Okay, so there is a bad reputation after getting the data integrity violations. Now, how data integrity is achieved? This is just the basic things. Huh? These are the basic things. Okay, we should be minimally followed. There are in next sessions we are going to see the actually exact what is being done. Okay, in these cases. So, how data integrity is achieved? Adhering to the principles. Pharmaceutical companies follow principles like ALCOA++ to ensure data is trustworthy. If ALCOA++ is followed means what? People should understand. In most of the companies, people are just working. They don't know the principle, how to handle the data. What is ALCOA+? They don't know what is meaning of contemporaneous. They also don't know meaning of indurable. Such cases happens. So if people are not knowledgeable, then how data will be correct and accurate? Okay. So persons are the most important. So companies should adhere to the principles of ALCOA++ principles. Okay, so that data will remain the integrated and regulatory will trust that companies. Implementing robust systems. Okay, this includes using electronic data management system with strong security controls. Okay, suppose analytical work is using the instruments, softwares are used. You have to retrieve, you have to that you have to store the electronic data. There should be no changes in the electronic data after its storage. Okay, so strong security is required. If data gets lost, the company should have disaster master plan to archive. That means to get the data back. What happens? What will happen if data gets lost? Okay, because during the audit data should be available. That is the most important. This second last, data must be accessible for review and auditing. Okay, so if data not available, then issue. So robust systems have to be implemented, different validation processes, audit trails to track and manage data throughout its life cycle. Conducting regular audits and training. Most of the companies are implementing the internal audits, self inspections, okay, inspections by the consultants, audits by the external agencies, okay, prior to the inspections by the regulatories. So they will become the confident, okay. So audit should be regularly conducted. So they will come to know that where is the lacuna is, okay, where is the problem, okay, and training is the most important among all. If people are not trained, data integrity is very impossible to achieve. Okay, because people are handling the data. Regular internal audits and comprehensive employee training are essential to identify and correct any issues, and to ensure all personnel understand the importance of data integrity. In later slides, I will show you two examples where how people training is important. Okay. Now, once again, I will tell you in short. Attributable means who made the data. Okay, person, system should be identifiable. Legible means what? It should be readable, understandable. Contemporaneous means online. Original means on the original format. Accurate means what? Data must be accurately written as per procedures, not any undocumented changes. Complete means what? All data should be recorded. Okay. There should be no blank spaces also. No? That blank spaces comes under complete. If blank spaces are not striked off, then complete will not be achieved. Consistency means in timeline manner. Okay. Proper formats. The same writing by the persons. That means proper all should be in a same way. Okay. Entering means what? Data should be stored in the proper conditions. Okay. There should be no water spillage, no growth of organisms on the papers, because paper is cellulose. It will get destroyed by the microorganisms if kept for longer time. So should that care should be taken, and data should be available. Data should be traceable. Okay. Now let us see who can answer. Sujit. Sujit.
Yes, sir.
No. Can anyone answer? Means they are allowed to answer, or just I can.
We can give answers in the question Q&A session.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Who is interested? They can answer in the Q&A part of the slides. Huh? You can. Now the first example I have shown here. Temperature to be recorded. Okay. First person has, that means he has mistakenly written 39.8 degrees Celsius. Now he corrected 41.2. In second case, same case, person has signed, dated, and he has written the reason. So, which ALCOA principle is this? You can write there. So, first one is the attributable. In first case, person has striked off, but he has not signed and he has not written there why that change has been done. So, attributable means person, reason. Okay. So, here, this is the example of attributable. Second one is what? Now temperature first was what was striked off, that is completely striked off. We cannot read that. Okay. So this is the case of legible. What has been striked off, that should be clearly visible, as like in the first case, that upper slide, upper photo. Okay. 39.8 should be clearly, suppose it is striked off. Okay. that should be clearly seen. So it should not be completely striked off. It should be visible. Okay. So first one is the attributable. Second case is of the legibility. Now this is the third case. This is the refrigerator. Suppose temperature refrigerator is set at 5 degrees Celsius. Now person has to write the calibration, means once in a day they have to write the temperature of the refrigerator displayed on the screen. Refrigerator is set at 5 degrees Celsius. So first person measure the temperature on, suppose I have just given the example, 14 August fell. He has written 4.3. Okay. So in this format, what is 4.3 is not clear. So this data becomes inaccurate. Unit should be mentioned. Okay. But let us consider that it is degree Celsius. Now he has written 4.3 is initials. Okay. Now second person has done same thing. Okay. He has written temperature. He has written his initial. Now he written the remark calibrated. So why other people have not written the remark? So this is the question of consistency. If anybody is writing calibrated, that means what above person has done. Okay. He has calibrated, or what he has done. Calibrated word is not written. Or whether second person has made the mistake that he has written calibrated. So there should be consistency in documentation, because it brings the unclarity to the regulators who are checking the data. Okay. Now in this case, first initial is ELD, second is ELD, third one is also ELD. So whether he is a different person or same person, it is also not identifiable. Okay. So it becomes the question of attributable. So is fourth ELD is similar to first and second or not? Okay. So there should be consistency. Okay. Now you see, first person written 4.3 degrees Celsius, second person written 4.0, third person written 41. No anything written in the remark. Why he has written 41? Okay. So the person might have written the temperature in the Fahrenheits, but nobody checked that. Nor the next person checked that previous person has made mistake. Okay. So this is the inadequacy in the data. That is called as the accuracy also, consistency also. Okay. Attributable. Now see, after every day you have to write the temperature. Now see, after 22 August, 23 to 31 August is missing, left side. After 22 it is directly 1 September. So what about the other 8 days? Okay, no any remark. Nobody has written that. Data is missing. Data is not available. Document is not complete. So this comes under data integrity violation. So this data is not integrated because this has not followed ALCOA ++ principle. Okay. Now this is the latest observation. I will tell you that what is the meaning of. I just told you that training is most important. This is the 483 given to Hetero, Visakhapatnam, India, in last month. Okay. The observation one, what you are looking at, this observation is given by the US FDA auditor, and the observation given in the 483 form. Okay. You can check, Google it, Hetero 483 September 25. This is the first observation was. Okay. What he has written: access to warehouse storing API intermediates, key starting materials intended for US market. That means the API, whatever is manufactured there, okay, and you marketed to US market, and it associated records, okay, other records with respect to API intermediates. This is the API plant. That records were not made readily available for inspection. the most important rule in USFDA inspection that each and every document asked by auditor or whatever FDA auditor asks about anything, that should be made easily available. So here available is word is the ALCOA ++ available. If document not made available, that is data integrity violation. Okay, that now this company will face many issues now. Okay, because this is 43 in last month. Now they have to respond. Why documents were not made available? That is a critical compliance. What he has written, this is also one of the comic statements what that company is doing. Okay, upon arrival for inspection, entry was denied for 2 hours to inspect the warehouse that holds keys all materials. Okay, they have this plant is approved by US FDA. They are marketing their APIs to the US market. Then they are not allowing the auditors to enter in the warehouse. They are waiting for 2 hours. Part A, warehouse gates for both buildings were wide open during the arrival. Whatever. And appeared to store multiple drums and bags of the product. We displayed our US FDA credentials to the 2 security officers present. Credentials means what? I-cards. Okay. We are inspectors and all that. They are giving to the security officer that we are a US FDA inspector. We want to inspect your company today. After showing their credentials and explained our intent to conduct work through a warehouse, however, we were immediately refused entry into the warehouse, which includes 2 buildings. In addition, employee personnel who were later identified as the assistant warehouse manager. That means he was assistant manager of warehouse and warehouse staff. Okay, and ran out of plain sight. After looking at the auditor, he ran away. After announcing that inspectors have come and they are going to audit, that assistant manager ran away from that place. The warehouse gates were then lowered and completely shut on all sides until approximately 2 hours after arrival. Okay. So if regulatory auditors are looking at this scenario, how they will trust? This is just the open scenario of open gates of the open and closed gate of the warehouse. What about the documents? Okay. And this is also the respect. If such issue 4 degrees are getting displayed on the internet, okay, what other countries will be thinking about the India and what they will think about the drug manufacturing in India? So such companies, okay. So next time what will happen? Another auditor will read this. He will also do the same thing. He will go to the warehouse. Now what companies will start? They will now after reading this 483s, they will just keep in mind the warehouse, that auditors are coming in warehouse. They will keep the ready warehouse, but they will forget other departments. Okay, this happens most of the times. In part B, upon arrival for inspection, a truck full of drums was stationed at the warehouse loading dock. There was a truck with the drums. We explained our intent to inspect the truck, but were refused to do so. Well, inspector were refused to check the truck. The truck full of drums had left the facility without any explanation provided. Then, after they come to know that these are the auditors, then there was no truck. In addition, another incoming truck was turned away by security officers upon their indicating our presence. That means they marked in there is auditor, you go away, don't come here. Okay, park your truck 4-5 kilometers away from this plant. Okay. Why people are getting fear about the auditors? They have to follow all the norms, regulations, because drugs are for the patients. This is not money making business. This is a novel field where drugs should be manufactured as per good manufacturing practices. This is second case. Okay, this is also from the same company. This point was this 483 was given in last month, September. Okay, this is also interesting. Now you have to, whatever I have shown you, you have to just check that in which ALCOA principle this fits. Okay. Observation 4. This is different 483. That was different. Your quality unit failed to adequately control documents. Documents means what? Data. Okay. Specifically, your quality unit failed to ensure adequate oversight. Oversight means what? To look into. Barabar. To look into. That means checking, managing. Adequate oversight. There should be adequate oversight. Your quality unit. Quality unit means quality control and quality assurance. That is called as quality unit. Your quality unit failed to ensure adequate oversight on control and management of GMP documents, along with reliability of documents that are critical in ensuring the drug substances manufactured and tested at your site are safe and effective. Now, in this case, I will tell you the background. In this case, what happened? One company manufacturing the API was sending the samples to the contract testing lab near to that company. Okay, and there was no agreement between two companies whether agreement for the testing of the sample, because that lab was giving the COAs, certificates of analysis, and that COAs were used by this company, and these COAs were distributed along with the batch in the US market. So auditor checked that. Now he found that there was no agreement between that contract lab and this company. Now what happened? This is most interesting part. On September 25, now what happened? An auditor also asked that what about the training? So that is written in the previous observations. Okay. On September 25, your head of HR department provided training agreement dated 1 June 2020. Okay, between your site and unregistered testing laboratory. Okay, that was found to contain data. Your test samples were there, STBs and other documents. The verification of details pertaining to training agreement with the unregistered company revealed the following. Okay, so auditor found the training agreement. First day he does not found the document, but later during the inspection other dates he found training document. Now senior manager, he is the senior manager that signed the training agreement. Okay, so training agreement was on June 2020, and the sign on the training agreement was on August 22. Sorry, training agreement was signed on 1st June 2020, and the person who signed the agreement was not joined till August 22. That means that person was not available in 2020. Okay, so there was handwritten signature. Now the handwritten signature of senior manager also not found matching with the signature in the other documents. Okay, so this is clearly a fraud. So when employees are joining in the companies, their signatures are taken, and that signatures are to be used during the documentation in the respective department where the person is going to join. So that signs are important. Okay. Now this is the clear-cut example of what? Data integrity violation, fraudulent document. Okay. So now you check that which ALCOA principle fits for this. Okay. So this is the one of the thought by US FDA, but this thought is by the Dr. W. Edward Deming. He is the quality person. That means he has written various quality guidelines. Okay, what he said: in God we trust. All others must bring data. So all the things, product quality, okay, all the companies, the reputation and all that only depends on the data. Okay, so data means quality of the product. If the data is properly integrated, if all the principles and systems are followed, okay, that means no issue with the data integrity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. If there are any questions, please raise your hand. I will allow the questions to be taken.
This was just a brief explanation about the data integrity for the next sessions. Okay, this was the background, what happens, what will happen if not followed, how to handle it. Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions? Ask the questions so that we can take maximum benefit of the experts. If you don't want to ask, you can type in the Q&A section also. Once again, someone has raised the hand. Yes, Lakshman, please ask. Lakshman? You want to ask
Hello.
something?
Yes, yes. I'm audible?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, please carry on.
Yes, Mahesh sir very nicely explained about the ALCOA plus principle. And it's really beneficial for us in future while doing our work. Right now, I am working in Mylan laboratory. Yes, whatever you explained, it's very important thing in pharmaceutical industry. Thanks for update, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshman, for the. Anyone else want to ask something? Thank you, Lakshman, for the review. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay.
So just give them info about next sessions or whatever you want to do.
Definitely, sir. First and foremost, I should thank you for before I introduce the other topics. Good evening once again to each one of you. I am really thankful to each one of you. Sincere gratitudes are extended to Mahesh sir, all the participants who took time on a weekly weekend. And so it was one of the most important topics, as sir already said, data integrity. We always say that in our industry, I have heard from sir itself that if it's not documented, it has never happened, right? So that's the importance of data integrity, because so as to build that particular trust factor, you need this data integrity to be followed in the industry. And unfortunately, we have not been educating this topic to a large extent. So we decided that we should be starting off any topic with data integrity only. So the next session which we will be conducting on the next Saturday will be on molecular docking. So whoever is interested, you can register for that also, molecular docking. And on next Monday, not this Monday, next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have a session on AI in research. So that also you can register. that the timing would remain the same, almost 7:30 to 9, and the speaker for that particular session is a well-known personality in AI. That is Dr. Satish Polshettiwar sir is going to take that session. So these are the two sessions that are coming up from our side. If as I already said during the initial my introduction itself, that we will be coming up with all the topics which you have suggested also. I have taken a note of all the topics that you have suggested, and some of the topics are really good because we were also looking for topics that you want. And my only suggestion, or you can say request to you, would be take advantage of this series, because if you are not able to take the advantage, there is no point in conducting these sessions. Ask questions, because these are really good experts. As Mahesh sir himself, he has been in the field of data integrity and quality issues. He has been the auditor for many of these many big audits, and he is aware of these things. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me also, and I'll pass on the questions to Mahesh sir. If there are still any questions, we can take some questions, because we have 10 minutes of time left. So otherwise, we can wind it up. We will also be coming up with that 3-day or 4-day session exclusively on compliance related, because there has been a request from some of you. We will be coming up with 3 to 4-day session, which will be led by Mahesh sir himself. It would be a full session on compliance, data integrity, and it would be a detailed session. We'll let you know about the timing and the formalities. So, okay, we have one question from Pratiksha. What is the role of data integrity in pharmacy? Sir, there is a question from you.
Hello?
Yes, sir. This question is, what is the role of data integrity in pharma or pharmacy?
I already explained you that data integrity is most important, because all the audits, what auditors are looking, they are looking at the documents. Okay. So if data is not integrated, now what is mean by data integrity? Because any document, okay, it should be correct. Okay. And it should be based on, that means it should follow the ALCOA++ principles. That if that principles get followed, your data is minimally good. If data is not integrated, that means what? Your document is not good. If document is not good, means what? I earlier told you that documents itself reflect a product quality. Suppose I will show you my 12th mark sheet, I have 99%. Okay, then you will say that I am clever. If I will show you document, I suppose I have 36%. What your that means thinking will get changed. So documents reflects the quality. Okay, errors in the documents, incomplete documents, that will directly, that regulator will think that persons are not trained. So if they are not documenting well, what same persons are doing the activities like analysis, manufacturing, okay, they might be doing some mistakes, and there is issue with the quality of the product. If persons are not trained, if if documents are not proper, then drug product is also said as adulterated. We are not mixing with anything with the product, but if anything does not get followed as per GMP, or data is not integrated, then that product is called as adulterated, and agencies will not allow you to market your product in the market. So there again, if your notification gets displayed in the websites, okay, then persons will come to know. They will not take medicines from that company. Okay. So patient safety is important. Patient trust is important, because what we are going to Following the data integrity, that is only for the safety of the patient. That is not only the show for the auditors. Okay. So patient safety and company's reputation, creditability is most important. So that's why data integrity is important.
Hope the answer was clear. Pratiksha? Any more questions? We have 2 more minutes. Okay, sir. Can we conclude, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you once again, each one of you. Special thanks to my sir, as always. He's ready to share his knowledge. And that was a really good session. And hope the topic was introduced or understood by all the participants. We will see you on next Saturday with another topic, that is molecular docking. And another industry expert would be taking that session. Thank you, each one of you. Good night, everyone.